My sister tried to steal my lottery winnings and my husband, but karma had other plans for her. Okay, Reddit, I need to get this off my chest because I'm still reeling, and honestly, I don't know who else to talk to. My life has been a whirlwind of absolute insanity for the past few months, and I feel like I'm living in a telenovela. This isn't just about a bad sister, it's about betrayal, greed, and a level of audacity I didn't think was possible outside of bad reality television. Let's start from the beginning. My sister, Clara, has always been a lot. Growing up, she was the golden child, the pretty one, the popular one, the one who could do no wrong in our parents' eyes, despite a long history of manipulative behavior that only I seemed to notice. I, on the other hand, was the quiet, studious one, often overlooked, and always expected to defer to Clara's whims. It created a dynamic where I was constantly trying to earn their approval, while Clara just breezed through life, expecting everything to be handed to her. This dynamic continued into adulthood, with Clara always finding reasons why she deserved more, why her problems were bigger, why her successes were more important. I always tried to be supportive, to be the good sister, even when it felt like she was constantly taking advantage of my good-natured husband, Mark, and I have been together for 10 years, married for 7. He's my rock, my best friend, and the most patient, understanding man I know. He comes from a modest background, just like me, and we built our life together from the ground up. We both work hard in our respective fields. I'm a graphic designer, and he's a software engineer, and we've always been careful with our money, saving for a future that included a nice home, maybe a couple of kids, and a comfortable retirement. We weren't rich, but we were happy and secure. About 6 months ago, everything changed. I bought a lottery ticket on a whim. I rarely play, but there was a huge jackpot, and I just had a feeling. A silly, irrational feeling, but I went with it. I forgot about it for a few days, tucked away in my purse, until I saw the winning numbers flash across the screen at the grocery store. My heart started pounding, a crazy, unbelievable hope bubbling up inside me. I rushed home. Mark was still at work, and I pulled out the ticket. One by one, the numbers matched. All of them. I had won the jackpot, a staggering $75 million. I was in shock. Absolute, utter shock. I reread the ticket countless times, checked the numbers against multiple sources, and even pinched myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. When Mark came home, I practically tackled him at the door, sobbing, laughing, and shaking all at once. He thought something terrible had happened until I managed to blurt out the news. We spent the rest of the evening in a daze, alternating between hysterical laughter and stunned silence. We knew we had to be incredibly careful. We decided to take the lump sum, which after taxes, was still a life-altering amount, around $45 million. We immediately consulted with a financial advisor and a lawyer. Their advice was clear: keep it quiet. Very quiet. Don't tell anyone, not even family, until we had a solid plan in place for how to manage it, and how to protect ourselves. We followed their advice to the letter. We told our parents we had received a significant bonus and a promotion, enough to justify a few small upgrades to our lifestyle, like a new car for Mark and a down payment on a slightly larger house in a better school district. We knew we couldn't just keep living exactly the same. It would raise too many questions, but we also didn't want to flaunt it or draw undue attention. We made sure the changes were gradual and justifiable to anyone who wasn't looking too closely. Our parents were happy for us, attributing our newfound comfort to our hard work, which was true in a way, just not the whole truth. Clara, however, was immediately suspicious. She has always had an uncanny ability to sniff out anything that gives her a perceived disadvantage. She started making snide comments about our sudden wealth, asking invasive questions about Mark's new clients and my lucrative projects. She'd drop hints about how she was struggling financially, how her job wasn't paying enough, how her partner wasn't as ambitious as Mark. She was clearly fishing for information and for money. We politely deflected, always keeping our story consistent. Then came the incident that blew everything open. My birthday was approaching, and Mark, wanting to do something truly special, decided to surprise me with a trip to the Maldives. It was a dream vacation, something I had always wanted to do but never thought possible. We were meticulous about planning, booking everything under pseudonyms, and making sure our itinerary was private. However, I made one mistake. I told my best friend, Sarah, about the trip. Sarah is like a sister to me, truly, and I trusted her implicitly. I swore her to secrecy, explaining the reasons why we were keeping our lottery win under wraps. She understood and promised not to say a word. What I didn't know was that Clara had recently befriended Sarah's younger sister, Jessica, through a mutual friend. Jessica, unfortunately, is a bit of a gossip and not the sharpest tool in the shed. Clara, in her typical manipulative fashion, started prying information out of Jessica, painting a picture of me as someone who was suddenly flaunting wealth and being secretive. Jessica, probably wanting to impress Clara or just being thoughtless, mentioned the Maldives trip, completely unaware of the larger context. She probably just thought it was a fun piece of gossip. Clara, with this tiny piece of information, went into full detective mode. She's surprisingly tenacious when she smells money or a perceived slight. She somehow managed to hack into my old email account, an account I rarely used but still had linked to some obscure travel sites. I don't know how she did it, but she found a confirmation email for the Maldives trip. The email, while not explicitly stating the cost, did mention a private villa, first-class airfare, and a number of luxury excursions. It was enough for Clara to put two and two together and come up with about $45 million. She didn't confront me directly. Oh no, that would be too straightforward for Clara. Instead, she decided to ambush me at our parents' anniversary dinner. It was a lovely evening, everyone was there, and for a brief moment, I felt genuinely happy and relaxed. Then, dessert was served, and Clara cleared her throat dramatically. "So, my name," she began, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "I hear you and Mark are jetting off to the Maldives soon. Must be nice to be so rich all of a sudden. What, did you win the lottery or something?" The room went silent. My parents looked confused. Mark's face went pale. My stomach dropped. I tried to play it off, forcing a laugh. "Clara, don't be ridiculous. It's just a special anniversary trip we've been saving for ages." But Clara wasn't letting it go. She pulled out her phone and dramatically displayed a screenshot of the Maldives confirmation email. "Saving for ages for a private villa and first-class flights? With your salaries? Don't insult our intelligence. My name. I know you won the lottery. I know you've been hiding it. And frankly, I think it's disgusting that you kept it from your own family." My parents were stunned. My mother started to cry, asking if it was true. My father looked angry and betrayed. Mark, bless his heart, tried to interject, to explain, but Clara just steamrolled over him. "And you, Mark," she sneered. "I always knew you were a gold digger, but this is a new low. Keeping such a secret from family? What kind of person does that?" That was it. I snapped. "You know what, Clara? Yes, we won the lottery. And we kept it a secret because we knew this would happen. We knew you'd come out of the woodwork, demanding a piece of it, trying to ruin our lives, just like you always do." The dinner devolved into a screaming match. My parents were furious, feeling lied to. Clara was on a righteous rampage, accusing us of everything under the sun. She demanded a fair share of the winnings, claiming that as my sister, she was entitled to a significant portion. She even had the gall to suggest that our parents deserved a payout for raising us, and that she, as the struggling older sister, deserved even more to catch up. The sheer audacity left me speechless. She even hinted that Mark should have left me and been with her all along, because she deserved a rich husband. This last comment, whispered under her breath, was meant only for me, but Mark heard it. His eyes, usually so calm, flashed with genuine anger. The night ended with my parents telling us they were deeply disappointed and needed time to process. Clara stormed out, vowing to make us pay. Mark and I went home, utterly devastated. The joy of our win was completely overshadowed by this family drama, The next few weeks were a nightmare. Clara launched a full-scale smear campaign against us. She called every relative, every family friend, spinning a tale of how we had become overnight millionaires and were selfishly hoarding our wealth while our poor, struggling family suffered. She painted me as a manipulative liar and Mark as a conniving opportunist. Our phone rang constantly with calls from relatives, some demanding money, others chastising us for our selfishness, and a few, bless their hearts, offering cautious support. My parents, influenced by Clara's constant badgering and their own feelings of betrayal, sided with her. They insisted we do the right thing and give Clara a substantial sum, along with setting up a trust for them. They seemed to genuinely believe that we owed Clara, that she had been wronged, and that our newfound wealth was an opportunity to fix her life. They conveniently forgot all the times Clara had taken advantage of me, all the time she had put herself first. Mark and I were at our breaking point. We had planned to help our family, discreetly and thoughtfully, but not like this, not under duress, and certainly not after being publicly shamed and blackmailed. Our financial advisor had already warned us against giving large sums of money to family without strict legal agreements in place, as it could open us up to further exploitation and legal issues. Then, things took an even darker turn. Clara, clearly not satisfied with just the money, started targeting Mark. She began texting him constantly, ostensibly to discuss the family situation, but her messages quickly became flirtatious and inappropriate. She would reminisce about old times, making up stories about how she had always had a crush on him, how she always thought they were meant to be. She would send him pictures of herself, dressed provocatively, accompanied by thinly veiled suggestions that she could offer him something better than I could. Mark, being the loyal and honorable man he is, showed me every single message. At first, it was just infuriating, then it became deeply unsettling. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about her trying to destroy my marriage, my happiness, everything I held dear. She saw our happiness, our wealth, and decided she deserved it all. She wanted to take my money, my husband, and leave me with nothing. We decided to play along, carefully. Mark would respond to Clara's texts with polite, neutral answers, never engaging in flirtation, but not shutting her down completely either. We wanted to see how far she would go. And she went far. She eventually invited him to meet for coffee to discuss family matters privately. We knew exactly what that meant. Mark agreed, but with a twist. We arranged for a private investigator to be present, discreetly, to document everything. And I, armed with a hidden camera and recorder, went as well, hiding in a nearby booth, ready to confront her. The meeting took place at a quiet cafe. Mark arrived first, and a few minutes later, Clara sashayed in, looking absolutely radiant, dressed in an outfit clearly designed to impress. She hugged him a little too tightly, lingered a little too long, and then proceeded to spend the next hour trying to seduce him. She talked about how I was cold and boring, how I didn't appreciate him, how she would be so much better for him. She openly stated that with the lottery money, they could have an amazing life together, a life I didn't deserve. She even proposed that he divorce me, take a significant portion of the winnings and settlement, and then they could run off together. She truly believed her own twisted fantasy. My blood was boiling, but I stayed hidden, letting her dig her own grave. The private investigator was getting everything on camera. Finally, when she leaned across the table and tried to kiss Mark, I couldn't hold back anymore. I stood up, walked over to their table, and slammed my hand down, making the coffee cups rattle. "What in the absolute hell do you think you're doing, Clara?" I yelled, my voice shaking with rage and disgust. Clara jumped, her face contorting in shock and then pure terror. Mark, playing his part, looked surprised to see me. You tricked me," she shrieked at Mark, then turned to me. "You set me up. You manipulative bitch." "No, Clara," I said, my voice dangerously calm now. "You set yourself up. You tried to steal my money, you tried to steal my husband, and you tried to destroy my life. And guess what? It's all on camera." I gestured subtly to the private investigator, who, at that moment, made his presence known, holding up a small camera. Clara's face went from pale to green. She tried to deny everything, to claim it was a misunderstanding, but the evidence was irrefutable. We had hours of text messages, the audio recording from the hidden recorder I was wearing, and the video from the private investigator. The confrontation in the cafe was just the beginning. The next day, our lawyer sent Clara a cease and desist letter detailing her harassment, attempted extortion, and alienation of affection. It included copies of all the evidence we had collected. It also clearly stated that any further contact with us, or any further attempts to defame us, would result in legal action, including a restraining order and a lawsuit for emotional distress and slander. Clara, for the first time in her life, was truly stunned into silence. Her usual bravado completely evaporated. She knew she was caught. She knew she had gone too far. We also presented the evidence to our parents. It was a difficult conversation, filled with tears and anger, but when they saw the unequivocal proof of Clara's actions, of her trying to break up our marriage and steal from us, their perspective finally shifted. They were disgusted. My mother sobbed, apologizing profusely for not believing me sooner, for allowing Clara to manipulate her. My father, usually so stoic, expressed profound disappointment in Clara. They cut Clara off. Completely. They told her that until she sought therapy and genuinely apologized to us, she was no longer welcome in their home or their lives. They even offered to pay for her therapy, which she, predictably, scoffed at. The fallout was immense. Clara lost her job shortly after, apparently for unrelated performance issues, but I can't help but wonder if her mental state contributed to it. Her partner, having witnessed the chaos and seen her true colors, left her. She became isolated, shunned by most of our extended family who had now seen the truth of her manipulative nature. The golden child had finally tarnished herself beyond repair. Mark and I, with the help of our financial advisor and lawyer, are now moving forward with our lives. We've set up trusts for ourselves and our future children, invested wisely, and even started a small philanthropic foundation. We've discreetly helped our parents financially, ensuring they are comfortable and secure, but we did it on our terms. Without any demands or drama. We've also started helping some of the more supportive relatives who genuinely struggled, but we are very careful about how we do it, ensuring it's done thoughtfully and doesn't create further issues. We've learned the hard way that money, while providing incredible opportunities, also brings out the worst in some people. It's been a long, painful journey, and the emotional scars are still there. It's hard to reconcile the sister I grew up with the person who tried to destroy my marriage and steal my fortune. But I'm also incredibly grateful for Mark, for his unwavering loyalty and love. He proved that he loves me, not my money, and that's worth more than any jackpot.so. Reddit, that's my story. It feels good to finally get it all out there. I still grapple with the hurt and betrayal, but I also feel a profound sense of relief that the truth came out, and that Clara finally faced the consequences of her actions. I guess karma really is a bitch, and sometimes she even comes with a hidden camera.